You probably come in just a tad bit. Yeah. Perfect. All right. That's good. Welcome everybody.
Welcome to J&amp Live. Hope everybody's doing okay today. Come on in. I'll be ready to get started in a few minutes. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you. Come on in. Welcome to J&amp Live. Thank you for joining us. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday today. So far.
Which way you like to follow YouTube?
Pardon me?
YouTube or TikTok?
It doesn't matter which one. TikTok will probably be better.
Okay, sounds great.
Yes, come on in. Welcome to J&amp Live. Yes.
Welcome everybody.
Got some interesting topics for you today. Like I said earlier, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day today. We look forward to your comments. And remember, it's not just about us, it's about you. We want you to engage with us, so please feel free to comment. If we're not doing something right or we should be doing something else, please comment add a comment in the comment section and let us know, because we want to get better and we want to increase our number of followers. And in order to do that, we need to be able to accept corrective criticism if necessary. So please feel free to come on in and join us. And again, welcome to J&amp Live. We thank you for joining us. We've got an interesting topic for you in a few minutes. We're going to talk about relationships, and we're going to talk about what you're looking for in a mate. What type of qualities or characteristics are you looking for? And we want to make sure that you know what those characteristics and qualities are before you enter a relationship, so you know what to expect. And you don't want to settle for just anything. We know times are hard. The ratio of men to women is really great. In the Atlanta area, I think the last discussion we had was like 22-1. And so, there's just not a lot of single men on the market, but you don't have to settle. You want to keep your standards up. You don't want to enter into a relationship with someone that does not have those qualities that you're looking for. You do want to make sure that you know what you're looking for in a mate. So when you do meet that Mr. Right, you'll be prepared. But not just for women looking for those qualities and characteristics in a man. We also want to focus on the men as well. Men, what type of qualities are you looking for in a woman? In a mate? What should she do? What should she have? What qualities are you looking for? Please feel free to add your comments as well. Let us know what you're looking for in a mate. Again, welcome to J&amp Live. We thank you for joining us today.
All right, everybody. Again, welcome. Broker J3. Again, as Dr. B said, today we're going to talk about relationships, qualities, things that you look for when you're finding a mate. I'd like to just go ahead and dive right on in. First of all, as a man, we realize that a lot of men tend to be visual.
Yes.
When we first see a woman, the first thing we see is how she looks, how attractive she is. So we tend to move from the presence of their looks, and then we'll try to see whether their mental or anything is happening. And from a woman's perspective, what do women look at more so for a man when they meet a man?
What women do the same thing. We look at the man's build. Of course, a lot of women look at the height. Of course, the same characteristics. And some women will even look at a man's shoes. Sometimes you can tell by a man's shoes if he would be someone that you would be interested in dating. So we do have some of those physical qualities that we look for as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The shoes?
Yes, the shoes. We want a man with some good shoes, and we tend to get a little bit more intimate. We look at his eyes because sometimes we want to see how he gazes at you. That's just a few of the characteristics. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, men are different. You know, I remember when I was growing up, you know, my mom used to always say, you know, make sure you're equally yoked, you know, with the mate that you choose, because I've seen it many times where a guy, you know, that may be doing well, they go into a McDonald's and see a young lady with a nice physique, you know, very attractive, and he'll want to talk to her. He's not thinking about where she's working at, how many kids she have at home, whether she's living with someone. She just, you know, he just immediately see what she looks like and want to talk to her. But on the reverse,
women, we look for a man with a job. We want a man with a job, preferably a decent job. It was one podcast that I watched, or it was some type of TikTok videos. I can't think of the man's name. He passed away.
Kevin Samuels?
Yeah, Kevin Samuels. He would, oh God, when the women he interviewed, some of them were looking for that man that made those six figures, but yet they didn't have anything to offer him. But that's just how women are. We look for a man to make more money. Normally, we make more money than we do, but now, 2024, which we get ready to approach 2025, some women are very comfortable making more money than their mate. I've even seen several situations where some men are stay-at-home dads, and the woman is the breadwinner. But those are some of the qualities that, for me personally, I know that I look for when I first meet someone. Just like you're meeting that person, that does not mean that you want to date that person. It just means that that's a possibility. Yeah.
So once you meet this guy, and say, you know, looked at his shoes, you know,
that's just me now, ladies. What do you think? Don't.
I'm not sure what kind of shoes he need to have on, but you know,
not a torn pair of shoes.
You know, say you looked at his shoes. The shoes look nice, and you know, you're attracted, you know, to the way he looks. Say he smells good. You know, what qualities do you think most women look for? And ladies, fellas, if you guys are listening in, please chime in and let us know, you know, what qualities or things that you look for as well, other than, you know, me and B's opinion. But
yeah, I look for someone that's kind, that's genuine, and that's kind. And oftentimes you look for someone that has some of the morals that you have. And one of my number one stickler, now this is just for me, he must believe in Jesus Christ. I'm just a stickler that I want a man that not just says he goes to church, but I really want him to practice going to church. Yes. You know, that's something that's very important to me. And I know there are men sometimes that will tell you what you want to hear to disguise the truth so that they can take you to bed or start dating you or whatever. They tell you what you want to hear. But women, be careful. Make sure he practices what he preaches.
You know, I had put a post out probably maybe a year or two ago. And that post talked about being careful of letting people know exactly what you're looking for. So, you know, when you meet somebody and you're in that beginning stage and you're like, you know, so what kind of man, what kind of woman you're looking for? And a lot of times we tend to, well, I'm looking for a godly woman, I want a woman to be classy, professional, a little hood, a little freak in the sheets or whatever the case may be. And that person may be none of those things, but they may have an alternate motive of why they want to talk to you. So they're taking all of this in and they're becoming who you want. So what do you think about that? Do you think that it's a good practice to tell someone what you're looking for, or how do you go about that?
Just like you said, I wouldn't share some of the characteristics. I would possibly share some of them, but I wouldn't share everything. Just like you said, that person could transform into that person that you're looking for, and they are not sincere in those qualities. They're not sincere in those actions. So, oftentimes women get tricked into relationship. That person tends to be something that they didn't think he was. In other words, he's gonna shower her with gifts and flowers and everything when they first meet that person. But afterwards, after you've been in a relationship with them for a while, then they tend to change their colors. And so that tells you that person did not have those qualities that you were looking for. But you don't find out that until 6 months, a year later. And then you say to yourself, oh God, I just wasted a year of my time.
But, in today's society, one thing that I realize is missing is actually asking questions. Too many times, people are involved in relations before they even know the person's last name, before they know what that person's mother's name is, if they have any siblings, how many kids they have. They're already in relations. So, starting off early, what qualities that you would look for that you think that you can see without the makeup of that person?
Well, number one, you could look at how he treats you, look at how he treats you. And then, I always believe that if a man really cares about you, then he will introduce you to his family. If you're in a relationship with a man and you haven't met his family, that's a red alert for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a red alert. So, and you can share with them. Wouldn't you, if you were in a relationship with someone and you were sincere about that person, wouldn't you want to introduce that person to your family?
Well, I have a certain amount of questions that I would ask personally before I would introduce them to even my friends. Mm-hmm. In today's society, I think that it's important that we ask questions. Here's an example. You may meet a man. He may have the qualities that you're looking for. You didn't tell him what you're looking for, but you see those qualities in that man. Mm-hmm. You ask him a lot of basic questions, but you don't ask him the questions of the seasons. I was told that, there's seasons, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of these seasons. So, in relationships, we tend to ask a person, did you ever cheat or was you cheated on or whatever like that? A lot of times in today's society, we don't ask a man or a woman, have you ever been with another man? Have you ever been with another woman? Which, especially Atlanta,
Well, now some men do ask women, how many partners have you had?
Well, asking a person how many partners is not asking them if they was with another woman.
Oh.
Because think about it now. Say, for instance, you was in a relationship with another woman and you met me. Okay. You may like men and women, but I didn't ask you that.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you say, hey, I'm going out with the girls, in my mind, I would think, well, my woman's going out with the girls, so she's good. Yeah. But what if she's having relationships with the other woman? But if you knew that she was interested in women as well, early on, you'll know whether do you want to move forward in this relationship, knowing that she likes men and women or not.
Yeah. And Atlanta, Macon as well, the area is full of. I don't have anything against anyone men that like men or women that like women. That I don't have a problem with that. But there are a lot of men that it's been known. There is the talk of a lot of men that are on the down low that's in the Atlanta area. And I'm sure there are a lot of women that are on the down low as well, and they don't share that with their respective partner. And so that should be one of the questions that you ask, considering the time that we're in right now. And it's so much of that being pushed on us. Just look at the TV commercials, not trying to get off the topic of everything, but it's being normalized.
Right.
So since it's being normalized, it definitely needs to be one of the questions that you ask when you're into a relationship,
Right.
because you just never know.
Right, I agree. Because, like I said, you would hate to be in a relationship with a woman and found out that she used to be a man. And because she's had her full operation and she has no more man parts, so you fell in love with this woman and, trying to figure out why you guys can't have kids, and not knowing that she really was a man. So I think asking those important questions, you just have to,
And even if that person is dishonest with you, you still should ask that question, because a woman who's had the sex change, she should share with that her boyfriend, husband, or whatever, that she cannot have children, because that could be detrimental to their relationship, because of the fact that she wasn't honest with them at first. And so you do want to ask those questions, and hopefully, and some people say you might want to do some investigative work to make sure that person has not been in a same-sex relationship.
So being that is one of the difficult questions that you would have to definitely consider asking, what are other difficult questions that you would ask a potential mate, someone that you're interested in, that you may think about becoming your future partner? I would say asking somebody about their credit. It's in today's time, credit rules the world.
Yes, it
So if say, for instance, if I have a high credit score, I'm in the upper 700s, and he look financially stable, and then you tell me, well, I don't know my credit, but I think it's maybe 500. You have to think about that, because when you two guys get together, she or he will have some financial difficulties. And you have to ask yourself, are you willing to be there for that person? Because these are things that people don't think about.
Yes, and that is one question that they should ask. Someone chime in and ask, what's the topic for today? And we're just discussing qualities, maybe characteristics that you're looking for in a mate. And so I need everybody to comment. What are you looking for? What qualities are you looking for in that significant other, that special person that you may meet? You can meet that person tomorrow. So you need to know those characteristics and qualities, and know, just like Broker J3 just said, you need to know what questions to ask. Don't leave yourself out there and enter into a relationship, and then a year later you find out that person is not the person that you thought he or she was.
And even with that, it's not just certain questions. Sometimes, now, a lot of people might beat me up with this, but, you hear some women saying, well, I have a 90-day rule before I'm intimate with anybody. Some people say you shouldn't wait that long. You should wait till the feeling's mutual between the two of you. Say, traditionally, you don't do that until you get married. But what if, don't get mad at me, church, what if you meet someone and you wait that year and a half or 2 years or however long before you guys get married, and find out that you guys are not sexually compatible? Because people say, oh, it doesn't matter. That's just one of the benefits of a relationship. But let's be honest. Does it really matter?
I think you should wait. I'm not an advocate for sleeping with a guy on the same night that you meet him, or vice versa, or however I don't believe in that, but I know some people do. I know I've been told the younger generation don't have a problem with that. But I'm a little old school when it comes to that area. But the key to it is you have to be careful. There's too many sexually transmitted diseases. Of course, you would probably use some protection, but is that protection 100%? So those are some of the things that you need to consider as well.
Yeah, the dating world nowadays, looking for a mate is something serious because, in today's society, as Dr. B said, I'm also old school. I believe in if I'm dating, I'm gonna date that person until I realize, hey, we're either are or aren't a match for each other, and then I'll move on to date someone else. But in today's society, you have men and women as, they may go out with Jane tonight, go out with Barbara tomorrow, go out with Diana the next day. And when you're dating that many people, how can you really get a bond with just one?
And what was it? The guy that does Let's Make a Deal, he's a pagan. What is it? It's his sexual orientation, which means that he dates women and men. So, there are some women that are in relationships where they are not dating one person, they are dating multiple men. And they do that because they're not sure of any of those men. So they want to keep their options open. So would you date a woman that was dating several other men?
I would, once I ask to find out if you're dating, you should say, yes, I'm dating. I would ask how many dates you've been on in the last month or two. If she says one or two, I still would consider talking to her. Mm-hmm. If she tells me I've been on 5 dates in the last 7 days or the last 2 weeks, I will be a little leery of moving forward because, I'm potentially looking for a future partner. Mm-hmm. I don't think unless you're out there just really just looking for someone to sleep with, because you're not out there looking for a male or a female friend. Let's be real. We're not out there. I want to, have about 15 female friends. That's not what you're looking for. You're looking for that one person that you can call your own. Mm-hmm. So I would want that person to be more so into me. Mm-hmm. If you have 3 or 4 other men in your ear, this one might say something that you like. It's not necessarily that I wouldn't have said it, but he said it first, so it got your attention. He done touched that button. Not that you couldn't, you just didn't get, you haven't got to that spot, or you haven't had that conversation or whatnot like that. So that's why I think that people should, kind of move back to the old school a little bit. They used to call it courting. Yes. And deal with one person at a time until you know that person is a fit or not a fit. Because I don't think anybody can truly have their eyes set on one person when you got multiple people in your ear.
Yeah. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I would not date a guy that's dating multiple people because I'm not sure whether he's being intimate with those other people. And if I'm going to put my time and energy into one man, then I think he should do the same for me. So I would definitely not do that because, like you said, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't know what that person is doing. You don't even know exactly if you're the only one in his life. And if he's dating other women, don't thank you. I'll pass.
So in this journey that we take trying to find our future mate, what are the red flags that should either stop you or make you ask more questions or continue?
Well, I didn't mention it. Are you looking for characteristics, qualities, the way he looks, or what are you referring to? Just anything?
Everybody is different, remember? Like for me personally, I look at a person's character. Mm-hmm. Of course, I want someone to be attractive. I feel if I take care of myself and I think that I'm an attractive guy, I would want the same in my mate as well. I want her to be intelligent. I didn't necessarily say she had to be the smartest bookworm, out there, but I want to have some real common sense. about herself, have a little business about herself, so it's certain qualities that I may look for that someone else may not necessarily look for those qualities. They may look for something else,
Yeah,
for somebody else, they may want somebody that's more freaky in the bed than they are, classy or whatever,
Yeah.
So everybody's different.
Yeah. Well, a smoker is a definitely red flag for me.
Yes.
So I would
agree.
I would
I
go in
agree.
the direction
Uh,
if he was a smoker. And I agree, you have to be attracted to that person, because you can meet someone and they could be an attractive person, but that does not necessarily mean that you are attracted to that person. A lot of people think because a person is attracted, you are automatically attracted to them, but that's not the case.
And I'm glad you said that, because, guys or young ladies, when you look for that potential mate and you're looking for attraction, oh my gosh, she got that big butt. Do you know if it's a BBL? Do you know if she paid for that butt? Oh my gosh, I love her breasts. Do you know if she paid for those? Are they real?
Yeah.
Oh, she have nice, long, luxurious hair. Is that really her hair? You don't know these things. And what happens when they get older and their bodies don't look the same? How do you respond if you are only into a person based off of their looks? When their looks change, will you still feel the same about that person? So it has to be much deeper than just looks. Women look for men that's financially stable. What happens when you meet him? He's financially stable, and for whatever reason, this man takes a tumble and his money is not the same. Will you still love him if his money is not the same? Or will you be like, hey, when I met you, you was doing good. Now you're struggling. I didn't sign up for this. I hope everything works out, but I'm out. How do you handle that?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because long term, you do have to think about that. That's why it's so important that you look for those qualities and characteristics in a person, because just think about it. As you age, you're going to lose some of the qualities, physical qualities that you once had. And so you have to have more in common with a person than just physical properties or looks. You want to be able to carry on a decent conversation, have a good dialogue with somebody. That's how you can know that you're a match. It means that you can talk about just pretty much anything. And so when looks fade away, and then just think about it, you've been together for 10 years. Every day is not going to be full of roses. You're not going to have a glamorous day every day. You're going to have some tough times. And so you have to be willing to tough it out through those difficult times.
Yeah, in today's society, we realize, especially in America, we have one of the highest divorce rates in the world. And sadly, I'm sorry, ladies, but sadly, these ladies are the ones that's initiating these divorces. So,
wow.
Yes.
Ladies, do you agree with that?
Yes, it's they can pull up the numbers. These divorces are being initiated by the women. So it makes you wonder what's stopping that staying power, because like my parents been married over 40 years, almost 50 years, but it seemed like my generation and the younger generation, they can barely be in a relationship for a couple of years, let alone talking about being married for a long period of time.
Yeah, I do know that the divorce rate is up, and I know that people don't have that staying power that they once had. They quickly to get a divorce if things are not going right. If that person didn't do what they think that person should do, they oftentimes do get a divorce. And they're not in it for the long haul. That's the words.
But that goes back to what our conversation is all about. What do you look for when you're trying to find that mate? See, these are the important issues, questions, concerns that people should have when they're meeting that person. Because when you don't, you're going to find yourself in so many issues that you wouldn't imagine. Look how many guys now that have kids by women that they realize they'll say what, or even vice versa women. I wish I would have never gotten involved with them, but then it makes you wonder, what was the reason why you got with them in the first place?
Yeah.
You know, was it the way they looked? You know, was it the nice pair of shoes they had?
Yeah.
You know, was it the money in their pocket? You know, or you just like the way she walked, you know, it has to go beyond that. Like you said, you have to look for qualities that's much deeper than appearance. And I think we've lost that, you know, in today's society. You know, more women now flaunt their bodies more than their brain.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, because well, with the BBLs, a lot of women are focused on things that they think men want to see. They think men want the women with the big butt, big breasts, or what use the term thick. The lips, even the collagen injections, you know, that women are doing just pretty much everything to change their bodies. But we talked about this once before. You have to be comfortable within your own skin, because you making changes to your body still is not going to change you on the inside. You know, you still have to focus on you, get yourself together. And if that change is something that you just have to have, I would personally think twice about it before I did it. I mean, not that you shouldn't have it. I don't want to tell anybody don't go out and get that surgery, but I've just seen too many horror stories.
So what do you think when you're in that stage, when you're trying to find someone, or not necessarily searching, but you know, that right one, or comes along and you guys are talking and you connect, and you see that they have some real genuine qualities, you're not catching any red flags from them. What do you think would be a normal time frame where you guys would make a commitment with each other? Because, you know, nowadays, you know, like we talked about, the younger generation, less than a month, they're already in a relationship, but they've been sleeping together since 2 weeks after they've met. And, you know, they're living together less than 2 months later. You know, what do you think should be a good time frame, you know, for these things to happen, or even looking into the future as far as marriage?
Okay. So that's a very good question, because I can't really answer that particular question for everyone. It's based on how you feel as far as the relationship that you have with your partner, with your mate. You talk to that person, find out how comfortable he is with you, how comfortable you are with him, and then whether you guys want to be inclusive. And then you make that decision whether you're gonna be together, you're in it for the long haul, and then you decide eventually whether you want to get married and what time frame is there. I don't want to put a time frame on it, because I can say 6 months to a year, but it's your comfort level, is what you and your partner feel. So you think it should be a time frame on it?
Well, I think there should be a time frame, but I can't necessarily give that number because everybody is different. Because, you know, when you meet someone, you know, like we said, we're not just trying to have a friend, you know, just somebody we can talk to and chill with or whatever. We're thinking about the future, you know, especially for some of us, we're older. We're not thinking for a play partner. We're looking for somebody to grow and build with. So, in my mind, I would think, you know, within a 2-year time frame, you know, if you guys are committed, you're together, you're looking at your future, you know. Now I wouldn't say rush anything, because you want everything to happen organically and natural on its own, because a lot of times when you tend to push, you know, because I know sometimes I've heard with women maybe like, hey, where's this relationship going? You know, we've been together now for 2 years. You know, you ain't talking about marrying me. You know, we already got a child. You know, where's the relationship? Hey, everything is good. You know, you like how things been going? Yeah, I like how it's been going. Then what's the problem? I mean, you don't need a ring on your finger to know that I love you. You know, but at the same time, you know, you're committed, but you're really not.
Yeah. A lot of women want to make it permanent, and that ring getting married signifies that it's permanent. You know, we're in it and we are fully committed to each other. Even though you can say you're committed without the ring, it just is a symbol of your commitment and of your love to that person. So I don't know too many women. There may be a few out there that don't want to eventually get married or be married. You know, there may be a few, but that way, that says you are mine and I'm yours. And I'm thinking about, I saw a podcast with, I think it was an Ice Cube on it. He said he didn't want anybody else to have his wife because his wife is his, and and his wife is his, and I'm hers. That was the quote unquote that he used.
Well, see, that's that longevity when you've been with the same person almost 40 years. You know, and even I'm sure early on in their relationship, you know, like he said, you know, his wife don't need any male friends, you know, and, you know, for what? You know, it's like, I don't want to share her with another man. This is my one, you know. So nowadays, you know, we'll have a woman say, well, I got more male friends than I got female friends because these women out here trifling. Okay, so why you got all these male friends? You know, and all the female friends that you have trifling? And if so, it may not necessarily be the women that's trifling, because it is, you know, let's be honest. If you met a man and his best friends, his closest friends are a few women. I only got one male friend, and 3 of my best friends, they females, you know. I've known them for years, you know, never slept with them. They like sisters to me, you know, and that's what it is. How do you feel about that? Or, you know, vice versa with the man?
I personally don't think that that's a problem as long as your mate shows you respect in front of those women. In other words, those women friends. In other words, those women friends know that you are in a relationship with him, and he makes that clear. For sure, he has to make that clear, because talking to the women out there, we know how other women can be. Like you said, they can be trifling. So that man has to make it clear to those women friends that he's in a relationship with you, and that relationship comes before that friendship that he has with the so-called women friends.
So not to get off topic, but since we're talking about that, how would you feel about your mate? You know, hey babe, want to catch dinner with Janice? You know,
okay,
one of my besties.
Okay, well, I'll see y'all there. I'll meet you there. What time? Where we meet?
There's no private time with the besties.
No, that I need to know exactly where you're gonna be. It is particularly if you're going out with one of your women friends, and you should automatically ask me if I want to join. That's automatic.
Wow. So
now, how would you feel if I went out with one of my guy friends and it's just me and him? If one of your significant other.
So if you was my woman, let me see. I would feel a little some type of way if you went out with one of your male friends, classmates, work buddies, or whatever like that. I probably wouldn't want you to, you know, because I don't know what their intentions are. You know?
I wouldn't know what the women's intentions are, but you have to trust that person.
But, you know, you hear that all the time where, you know, you have to trust me. It don't matter about them, you know, because you might be like, well, I saw how she was looking at you and how, you know, she look at you and talk to you. But then, like, you know, but I don't care what she's doing. You know, it's me. You're with me. You're not with them. So you got to think about, you know, me. If you trust me, then you'll know, hey, if they try the thing, I'm going to let them know, hey, you know, I'm with somebody. This is not what we're doing. And if this is what your intentions are, we can no longer be friends. But let's be real. In today's society, maybe you or myself, we may feel that way in regards to our mate, but there are people out there that may not be the same. what if, I think we touched on it once before. You having a bad day and had a big blowout argument with your man, and then you're out in one of your male friends, and you happen to talk about it, which is something that you shouldn't do.
Yeah,
but you talk about it like, yeah, he made me mad. This is what he did, and it just pissed me off. Now, if that man has feelings for you or like you, do you actually think he's gonna defend that man? He's gonna be like, "No, see, I told you he wasn't right for you."
And he's probably waiting for that perfect opportunity where he can creep in. But that's why when you're having problems with your girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, mate, or whatever, you keep that between the two of you. So you don't give him that window of opportunity. Because, like I said, he just happened to see you there. But if you go to spilling the beans and tell him or her what's going on, oh God, you never know what might happen.
It's just like when, not even knowing a person, you be out and somebody say, "Hey, how you doing? You're a handsome looking man. You're married. They can see the ring on your finger. Be like, yeah, I'm married. Then what's the question that they ask after?
Sometime, are you dating?
No, when you tell them that you're married, what's the next question that they usually ask?
Are you happily married?
Exactly. So why would a person ask, are you happily married? See, once you say you're married, any moving forward should cease at that moment. But when a woman or a man asks you, are you happily married? See, that's a question right then and there that they should be cut off. Because if they're willing to get with somebody that's unhappily married or come into that bond that them two people have, think about what would happen if you was with that person.
Yeah. So I guess all of that goes back to, which is our topic for today, is choosing a mate that has the qualities that would be able to withstand all of that. In other words, it would be someone that you could have a disagreement with, and that person is not going out telling your business, what happened between the two of you, to their friends. I don't care if it's women, men, or whatever. They should keep that between the two of you. And those are the qualities that you're looking for. Now, I'm not sure if you would find that out from dating a person for 2 weeks. You may have to be in a relationship a little bit longer than that to determine if that person has those particular qualities.
I totally agree. And as Dr. B was saying in regards to, our topic, we really should think about the things that when we're meeting someone, whether we like them or not, we need to ask ourselves, is this person gonna have the qualities that I'm looking for? Are you comfortable enough to ask them those difficult questions? Because you need to. If you see anyone that you are considering being in your life, there's no reason in the world you should not ask them those difficult questions, because you would hate for them to come up after the fact, or you are in a full-fledged relationship with them and find out later about something that you should have known about before you guys got deeply involved with one another.
Before you fell in love with that person. Yeah.
So today's topic, guys, again, we wanted to talk about it. Relationships, what you guys look for when choosing a partner or a mate, spouse, or whatever, so think about these things the next time you're out, and if you're dating, remember to ask questions, think about the future. Don't think about that night or how you're feeling. Think about your future, because, a bad decision can cost you a lifetime of problems.
Yeah. And another thing I want to add too is, if you have a topic that you would like us to discuss going forward, please add it in the comment section. Please do that, because we want to make sure that we have an opportunity to talk about some topics that may be that you're interested in, that may be that you need to hear, or you need to hear from us, or create that discussion and that dialogue. Because if you have those questions, then someone else probably does too. Or if you want to know more about a particular topic.
I totally agree, Dubby. So, guys, we appreciate you guys joining us today on our live podcast. Again, as Dubby said, you guys have any topics that you'd like to discuss and join in. This podcast is not about me and Doc's opinion on these topics. We like you guys to chime in and join us and get involved with us so that we know how you guys feel in regards to these topics. And if you was unable to catch the live or you came in late on the live, go back and watch it and comment and let us know what you think about it. Maybe we can come back and touch on it again and include some of you guys' comments in regards to the topic. We appreciate you guys joining us. And do you have any final words?
No, I don't have any final words. Just thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Well, I'm Broker J3.
Dr. B.
And thank you for joining us, J&B Live. Thank you, guys.
Have a good night.
We appreciate you. Thank you.